like one thing I like to tell people is, um, I honestly believe like if you don't quit and you continue to actually put in like quality learning time on the charts, it 100% will pay off. I honestly believe that.
Bam. All right. And live mode. All right. Well, let me go ahead on and get this off the screen. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in our guests. Please give, I've been waiting for this one too. So let's give our big brother a warm welcome to the Trade Genius Live. My big brother, Scalp God. Man, this is a brother here. I respect this brother so much. Like he has definitely taught me how to be, well, he taught me what a real trader is. He be hard on me. He be on my ass, like for real, which I love it because it's tough love. And I tell y'all, when we be on here talking, I'm like, if I say this to him, he gonna say this. So it's like I already know how he runs it. You know what I'm saying when it comes to trading, and that love, that tough love, has made me who I am as a trader. And I can definitely say, without his knowledge, without his help, without his mentoring me, I wouldn't be the trader that I am today. So man, let's give a big shout out to my big brother Scalp God. Happy that he's here. Absolutely, brother. So glad you're here, man. So, man, how you feeling?
Yeah, feeling good. Is it just my view or is it like zoomed in? Like, or is that just like the software?
The software.
Sure.
Yeah.
Straight,
Yeah.
all that.
Gotcha.
Thanks for having me. Finally back trying to get, settled into the office and all of that. So yeah, definitely some sort of adjustment period after, long trips and all that. You gotta get back acquainted with all of your settings and all your configuration and stuff. So but yeah, I feel good. Still back in the lab, just locked in and looking as you.
That's what's up. My brother, can you do me one favor? Can you maybe get a little bit closer to your mic? Just a little bit?
Yeah. Let me turn it up.
Cool.
Yeah. Just
Other
good
than
now, you
that. Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Bet. Well, bro, I appreciate you being here. I know you busy, very, very busy man. Got a lot going on. You're not just a trader. You're a business owner. You know what I'm saying? You're a husband. You know what I'm saying? You're a father. You know what I mean? So I know you got a lot going on. And like I said, I'm just really, really happy that you're here and you're able to spend some time with us today. It's very, very important that I brought Juvier on and brought you on before I brought anybody else on. That was just something mandatory for me. That had to happen. I could not interview anyone without interviewing you two guys first. And that's just what it is. Yep.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Yeah, we're honored to be your first guest and not your last guest either. So we could do this often if we need to, or whenever you want to. So
nice.
It's not just a one-time thing.
Awesome. Well, shoot, bro. Let's jump into it. So, well, let me say this. I'll say this and then we'll segue in. So, me and my big brother, y'all always know I call him my big brother. That's how I address him. That's how I talk to him. He'll tell you that. I don't call him Scalp. I don't call him Shannon. I call him my big brother. Straight up. He'll tell you that. Now, we have similar backgrounds. He has an IT background, like way more established in the IT game than me. And I think that's where he and I clicked. You know what I'm saying? It's like our minds are like in the same in that regard. And that's how I kind of just fell into your strategies and your style and, the way you teach, like how would I say, like your delivery and the way that you teach. And with that stated, what first drew you into trading?
I think a lot of us have like similar stories. So, as some of you may know, I used to be a contractor overseas. And when I first got overseas, I was in Kuwait. Um, I had a roommate. My roommate came home one day after work and he was telling me that he just made $62,000 trading, or not trading. He didn't use the word trading. He said he made $62,000 um, on GameStop. I was like, what?
Oh,
Doesn't make sense. So he was one of those ones that caught that GameStop play back way back when. So I was like, how exactly did you make 62,000 on GameStop? Like what, you robbed the store, or like what's going on? And he was like, nah, I traded. They had I don't know if it was earnings or whatever, but it was options, right? So I was like, show me $62,000 in your bank account, like a deposit from whatever. So he pulled it out and showed me. And at that very moment, I was like, all right, I went and got my laptop. I was like, teach me, show me how you actually did this. I'm ready to learn it right now. So he taught me options at first, and I was doing that for a while. I was only trading earnings
okay.
at the time. So it was a couple, maybe a few trades a month on specific companies, which is really cool because when you trade options, it kind of gets you back into like current events that are happening around the world. So you're very up to date on a lot of things that's happening, not only like in the US for us, but in all other countries, all other type of industries, things like that. So that was working out for a while. We were making money here and there, not 62,000. So I'm still waiting for that. So then it came to a point in time where um, we would trade earnings. The earnings report would come out positive. We would take essentially calls, which are longs and options, and we would still lose money. And it was at that moment that I did some research on it. And he didn't tell me about this part, but there's a thing called like delta, time decay, expirations, things of that nature, right?
That's
So
correct.
they call it the Greeks. Well, when I learned about the Greeks, I didn't want to learn about the Greeks. I was like, no, I'm trying to avoid that. I want to, take a shortcut, easy way out. So I stopped with options. Um, And then eventually I found futures and I started with bots, trading bots, algorithms, things like that. So I would pay, I think the first time I paid like 5,000, lost like 6,000 because the
Jeez.
bot would do really well Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sometimes on Thursday, but Friday it would lose it all. Right.
Wow.
So that would happen consistently. So I quit that
Wow.
group and then rejoined that group later. I was like, oh, let me just give it another shot. Same thing happened, another 5,000. So quit that group again. Found another group, but this group, it was bots, but it was like he would teach you how to trade the market using the bots also. So in that group, it was more like, I just sort of paid to actually learn more about the markets and like the interest in with me anyway, the interest in actually wanting to learn about the markets and how it moves because I was always trying to avoid the charts and stuff like that. So eventually quit that group. I started making my own bots because, as you mentioned, I do have a background in like cybersecurity and like coding and things like that. So I was making my own bots and started pushing those, trapping those out for a bit, and yeah, so stopped doing that, of course, and then I really like locked in and actually found like a love for the market, a respect for the market, in the fact, in the sense that you can't avoid, any work, especially like learning the charts. So that was my biggest flaw in the beginning was I didn't want to even look at charts. I just wanted to trade and try to make money without having to learn the charts. So like the shortcut didn't work out. This was back in when I started it was 2015 and or no 2016, sorry. And yeah, here we are today. Just
Wow.
basically having to, start. Everybody has a beginning. You go through your trials and errors, and then you eventually, if you don't quit, you eventually find some sort of success in the space that you're trading. So yeah, that's a bit about my trading start and journey.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. But 10 years in the game, man, I can't wait till I get to say that. That's very, 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 very like honorable to say 10, 10 years in trading. Just think about how much people quit, right? Everybody ready to
Yeah,
quit, you know.
yeah. So,
That's great. That's really, really cool. I mean, you answered a few other my questions through that, so that was perfect. But let me say this. What was the turning point that changed everything for you? Like, what was the turning point? Because I know you said you really didn't want to look at the charts. Like you said, you was trying to take shortcuts, being lazy. Everyone knows that. You admit that, and we know that. But what was the turning point for you where you're like, you know what? I could do this.
the turning point, I have a couple of turning points.
Okay.
So the first turning point was when I was able to actually tell myself, like, I would just sit down because at my job when I was working, I would have the charts up all day. So I would see the charts as I'm doing, work stuff or whatever. So there would be times, a lot of times, when I could just look over at the charts and I'm like, okay, the market's about to do this. And then that was starting to happen on a consistent basis. And I was like, okay, let me, because I wasn't actually putting money into the market. I was like in my learning stages, just soaking in all the information. And that's when I would just stare at the charts all day. So I would be able to like say, okay, I think the market's going to do this, and it would do that, and then that would be on a daily basis. And then I sort of put like timestamps on things where, okay, I noticed that this is happening at this time, like right before a meeting we have at work or something. So I started to notice those things. I would write it down. I would go home and view it. So that was like one turning point in my sort of like learning phase. And then I eventually put that into practice and we'll start to make some money. It wasn't like big money because I was still missing like one key piece. And
Mm,
that key piece would come later on some random YouTube video from my boy, and y'all all know who is Josiah or Juvier.
right,
So
right.
he put up a video maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. He said like one specific thing in this video. The video wasn't even about the thing he was talking about. So he only mentioned it in passing. And when he mentioned it, he talked about it for maybe like 15 seconds and then moved on to what he was originally talking about. But when I heard that, I was like, huh, what's that? And, I did some more research, started staring at the charts more. And that was like the second turning point for me.
Mm,
Um, for those of you that are like in the inner circle is reversal zones, or what he calls them change of direction zones. So when I added that missing piece to my arsenal or whatever,
mhm.
that was a second turning point that changed like everything for me specifically on the way that I trade. So that helped me out a lot, and it was just like a blessing that I found it, or that he even talked about it for those few seconds. And now he's going into more detail about it um, after that video. But yeah, that definitely changed a lot of things for me.
Wow. Yeah. Reversal zones, gotta have them on your chart. For real, for real. At least if we're trading your strategies, gotta have it on the chart. For real. And even if not, there's just good just to know what price is doing, expect that reversal, that rejection point. Definitely, man. Those reversal zones, don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on them. For everyone in the circle, there's a 3-hour video in Scalp God's resources. Go watch it. It gives the full breakdown on how to do that. I recommend that. But that's fire. That is fire. What's so crazy is that to hear your story, right? But then you've like developed like 5 strategies, like 5 bangers. You know what I mean? Like, how'd that happen? How'd that happen? Like,
So, yeah, it's a good explanation for that because so originally, I started with A plus or whatever. So with that strategy, so let me take it back. So while I was in my learning phase, of course, like most of us probably, I came across ICT. And now I'm not in the ICT quote unquote, but there are certain things that I took from his videos that I use today, like fair value gaps, liquidity sweeps and grabs, you know, uh, looking at the swing high, swing lows, things like that, like the basics of it. So those are like um, some of the pieces that I took from that. And then when I added those pieces on top of the reversal zones, I would look while I was at work, not really trading it yet, and I would look and I would say, okay, between this time and this time, pretty much like a couple times a week, a few times a week, I see a very nice move off of the reversal zone using those other pieces that I took from ICT and with some other key indicators, one being the time mainly. And it would happen on a regular basis, and it was like a huge move. So that was the first strategy that I came out with. It was pretty complex or whatever, and meaning not difficult, but meaning that there are a lot of steps. And if you're new to the game, you're probably gonna have a ton of questions if you don't know the basics of it, meaning the ICT stuff. So I would trade that for a while, and then I would send Juvier screenshots of it. And I'm like, look, bro, it's hitting TP 10 or whatever. And then he's like, oh, but where did you get out? I was like, I got out at TP 1. He's like, well, why don't you leave runners or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, I would um, make up some excuse, right? But realistically, I didn't really know too much about runners. So I would like he would say it and I would go do my research, pretend like I knew what he was talking about, and then go back and be like, oh yeah. I'm gonna start doing runners now or whatever. So then I would do runners and the runners that actually added a lot on top of things. So that was that strategy, which I was running only for a while. If you're like a vet in the inner circle, so then it came to a point in time where the inner circle started to grow. More people were coming in, a lot more new traders were coming in, and they didn't understand a lot of what I was talking about. It was too complex. And I was like, I guess this could be sort of, confusing for somebody that's like brand new to the game.
right.
Like it's just the amount of time it'll take to learn like individual thing, it would be like a lot. So I tried to come out with, some more strategies that are a little less complex, less steps, more suitable for like beginners, things like that.
Right.
So that's where a few of the other strategies came from. And then there was just the most recent strategy that happens during Asia. And with that one, it was to sort of accommodate the people because I would get DMs like crazy about, oh, I'm not able to trade during the market open. And most of my strategies were during the market open only and not like the rest of the day. So they're asking for solutions. So I would be up at night anyway. The thing about me, I'm just kind of like always up and doing something. So at night, I would start to, watch the charts or whatever. And then I would see certain things happen. You catch like, the beginning of a potentially big move. Um, it was essentially like a easy process, or like simple as in the steps to use the strategy.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, yeah, I'll try this out for a while, and then the results were like astronomical. So yeah, came
Crazy.
out with that one. So I don't think I plan to come out with any more. Essentially, because you don't really need that many strategies. You just need like one good one and stick with it. You'll be okay. But yeah, that's sort of the story about how the strategy started.
I mean, I totally agree. We got 5 different strategies. We got 4 during the daytime. We got 1 at night. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need any more than that. And those strategies
Yeah,
are bangers, straight bangers, all of them. I eat off them. A plus doesn't come, the first one doesn't come around that much. It's the most advanced one, but when it does, it's a unicorn. I've told people that when it comes around, it's a banger. But yeah, that's amazing, bro. That's amazing just to even come up with 5 strategies like that. But I already know that's your technical mind. That's that IT background. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know how much that plays a part into trading. You're already a
yeah.
numbers guy already off the top. You know what I mean? So it just made it easier. I know for me, that helped me. And then I wanted to say this too. I wanted to say this because I didn't say this. Um, he's my big brother's also a coach in the inner circle for those of you that don't know that, and he's also the co-founder of the Edge Funder. I didn't say that initially. I wanted to make sure that I put that out there. Also, one more thing too before we go on, we're going to be doing some giveaways. So I am dropping a form in the comment section. Everyone needs to fill out that form. You have until 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern to get it done. So please have that form filled out. And without filling out the form, you won't be able to enter into the giveaway. All right. So just drop the link. All right. So we'll move on. Now, so let's see here. What does your trading plan look like today compared to before? What does that look like? I'm just wondering. You're knowledgeable. You got strategies. You like your mind on the market is just crazy on how you see the market. Like what is your trading plan like today? What is that? It look like?
It's actually really easy, to be honest. As the like creator of like your own strategies that people take and make money off of, um, and I myself take them and make money off of. Like, because in the beginning, there would be a lot of times where I would have the strategy and then I would still look for other trades or whatever it, mostly on if the trade loses, I would try to, get that money back. I want every day to be green. You know what I mean? I didn't want no red days.
Copy that.
So in the front, like the front facing the front end or whatever, you would see me send out a trade or whatever based on the strategy. If it loses, okay, cool, I'm done for the day. But me, I would sometimes, this was years ago though, I would go in and try to get my money back, you know what I mean? Off
Right.
some other knowledge that I have in my head or whatever. And that was cool, but I didn't want to be on the charts. So now, because in the beginning you're on the charts a lot, right?
Yes.
You're on the charts sometimes. Like me, I was on the charts for like 19, 20 hours a day, every
Yeah.
day, just trying to soak as much information up as possible. So one of the trade-offs of that, or one of the rewards for your hard work, is not spending so much time on the charts anymore. You need the
Facts.
time that you need. So that's
Facts.
sort of the trade-off that I was looking for, which was cool. It was working for me. Being the coach in the inner circle sort of put me, at least in the beginning, and put me back on the charts for longer, more than I wanted to be, just because I was answering questions and stuff like that, which is cool because that actually helped me grow as well. Like whenever
Right.
you're talking about it out loud consistently on a daily basis, that
Absolutely.
actually helps your trading out and your discipline and your psychology and things like that. So now I'm at a point where I sort of learned how to maneuver and manage all of those moving pieces. And my training plan now is essentially I look for, on our morning calls, look for the same things every single day. If it's not there, yeah, I'm cool. Just shut it out, shut it down. Um, B, answer questions or whatever the case is. Do some work behind the scenes. But trading plan is really easy, especially that's the thing. I know you may be getting into this stuff, but I just can't stop talking. So
No, listen, talk, brother. Talk. We all need to hear it. Me included.
yeah, the thing with trading is not. I'm not going to say it's not hard because it is one of the most difficult things in the world, but the upside to it is you have a no ceilings limit on how much you can make, right?
Facts.
You don't have to try to make that. So you just, if you keep everything simplified and robotic, and you are very disciplined into doing it every day. I know you probably talk about this every day on the channel anyway,
Shout out to
but
you.
but once you become robotic and you just look for your thing, you find a strategy. That's the hard part. Once you find a strategy, it's just about staying disciplined to it. That's really it. If it's a good strategy,
Facts.
if you take it every single day, no matter what the strategy is, if it's a actual good strategy, by the end of the year, you're going to be green anyway. It's just a matter of how much green you're going to be up. Like it's
Facts.
just a matter of the odds. Like so um yeah, but that's the trading thing. I don't want to get too deep. I don't know what you're going to ask, but yeah, that's the and yeah, so it's just about becoming a robot, like I like to tell you. Become a robot. Like make trading boring. If you're not, unless you're like a streamer or influencer or something, there's no reason to try to take too many trades or be pretty with it or fancy with it, anything like that. If you're just a normal trader, you're doing it on the side of your normal 9 to 5 or whatever. Become a robot. Make it extremely boring. Extremely boring. The most successful businesses in the states anyway are the boring businesses. Your laundromats, your um, storage facilities, things like that. Those are boring businesses, but they're one of the most lucrative businesses. So make your trading the same way, like mimic it. So
Facts.
I get up
Preach.
so, but yeah.
That's what's up. That's can't say it no better than that. I mean, y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard that, community. What'd he say? He said, be robotic. What do we talk about every day? Showing up on the charts, doing the same thing, right? We talk about boredom, right? We always talk about how boredom is a state of mind, but trading can be boring if you look at it that way. But it's not really boring in a sense because it gives you opportunity to do a lot of things. So shout out to that, man. That is everyone. You're gonna pretty much hear what I said because I told y'all I've got everything from this gentleman. So it's going to be a lot of the same things, but probably even more in depth and even more polished answers than some of the answers that I give you guys. But you can never go wrong. You got to be robotic. You got to do exactly what he stated, and that's just what it is. That's just what it is. So let me ask you this: what's one rule you never break, no matter what?
One rule I never break. Let's see, that's hard. Uh, I don't know. So I'll tell you a couple of things, but I guess one rule would be to, hey, that's a great question. um, to never quit.
To never.
I think that's
Mm.
the thing with this is just for trading. If you're doing like freaking plane rides, you can quit all day long if you want. I don't, but like trading, uh, yeah, just don't quit. A lot of people are like right there. Like they put just amount of time in and they're like right there. It's kind of like that meme where the guy's digging for gold, one guy's digging for gold, and the other one continued on and he got it, and the other guy quit right before it was reached. That's the thing with trading also. You never know when it's just gonna click for you. it's not, at least in my experience, it's not something that you just kind of slowly get into. That it then it just starts to work. It's just like you spend so much time, your brain is processing everything, and then you subconsciously see it without knowing it, and that just means that it wasn't your time yet. You just put in a little bit more time, and then one day it's just going to click. You're going to wake up. You're going to come to the charts, and you just like you're going to be a chart, not really like a chart whisperer, but it's everything. It's just going to start to make a little bit more sense for you, and then that's just when it's going to start to turn around. Like one thing I like to tell people is, um, I honestly believe like if you don't quit and you continue to actually put in like quality learning time on the charts, it 100% will pay off. I honestly believe that. So that would be my one thing is just don't quit.
That's facts. One thing that always sits with me. I mean, everything that you've ever told me sits with me, but one of the main things that sat with me when we did our first one-on-one together, you told me treat NQ like your woman, meaning learn everything about it. I remember you were specific. You was like, think about if you had a girl, you take your girl out, like what's her favorite food, what's her favorite restaurants, what kind of movies she like, all of those different things about her, and you want to learn NQ the same way. And that right there, that has paid dividends upon dividends in the regard of just being on the charts. I was on the charts a lot. And you're right, those characteristics, they come up. You see them, especially if you're paying attention, if you're writing it down, if you're, making note of it. Very, very, very one of the probably most important things you can do for the ticker that you're trading. I would definitely have to
Yeah,
say that. That's so true. So true, so
yeah,
true, so true.
yeah,
Now,
absolutely.
so when when I started trading with you, when you became a mentor, we were trading in a different regime, right? So, what differences have you noticed trading in the previous administration versus this one? And this is, of course, everyone that's listening, this ain't no political statement. We ain't saying one administration is better than the other. We're just saying what we've noticed about the market.
Yeah. Um, so with the previous administrations, at least me as a few, but it was always sort of predictable, I would say. More predictable. Not in a good or bad way, but just in a way. And with that came a lot of consistencies that you would see, especially from like news days. On certain news days, you kind of knew what was going to happen.
Absolutely.
At certain times, like the New York Open, you knew that first 1 minute candle was going to be extremely violent, and then it was going to cool down, and then it was going to kick back up like 30 minutes after the open, and then sort of just trend from there. Um, it was good times because you would make money, a lot of good money because the market was pretty predictable. With the new administration, it started off pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
It started off. I didn't know if all of my strats would survive. I was maybe thinking that I would have to, make some adjustments here and there, but it leveled out. It's moved out. Everything's kind of back on track. Um, I think it's important, especially if you were trading with the previous administration and now, to go through both. Like I like to tell people, like we haven't seen anything like this, so this could be the new normal now. His the administrations that come after this current one could take note of what's happening now and be like, oh, I have that power. I didn't know that. Let me go try that as well. So even if you didn't trade in the previous administration, I like to tell people that it's a good thing if you started at the beginning of this one, right? Because you're probably learning through one of the most difficult times in the market, at least with that, because players that are there's new players in the game, meaning social media now
Wow.
is a factor that you have to look out for, which wasn't the case before. Unless something like really big happened in the world, then it would be on social media. If that was the case, then yeah. But what I mean is that now a simple tweet could tank the market. Just a simple tweet from specific people. So that was something that we didn't have to worry about previously. So I think it's good if you're just coming into the game and you're having to go through these times. Yeah, it sucks because you're probably not making money and it looks like you're not learning anything, but you're actually getting your reps in. Looking at what's happening when those tweets come out and those things are at play. So yeah, I think it's a huge difference, but there's learning in everything. So yeah, I think it's still good overall.
Absolutely. I would definitely have to agree with you. The terrain did change and it was rough the beginning of last year. That first, like January, like it seemed like January 15th to like mid March, I think. Boy, market was punishing us. But I mean, hey, as you stated, I think it was good because if you can trade in this administration, in my humble opinion, I think you can trade in anyone. This one's pretty rough. So for all y'all out there that just came into the game, understand that this is a lot different terrain than before, so just stay down and you're gonna be fine. Um, hmm. So what advice would you give traders struggling with discipline?
Ooh. I mean, discipline comes from who you are as a person, also, I believe. So, like, what I mean is if you have trouble, waking up to go to work on time every day, then you're probably going to have trouble waking up to come to the markets on time every day. Like, that's going to carry over. So, how you are as um, an individual, I think will carry over. So if you're having trouble with discipline and you're trying, um, whatever it is that you're trying that you learned on internet or whatever, I think you should take a look at yourself and see, what areas am I lacking in, like personally. Try to work on those, and then I think things will sort of like fall in place after the end. Because eventually, on top of that, eventually you're going to get to a point where you know what you're supposed to do and you're consistently doing the wrong things. And if you took care of your personal side, eventually you'll get to a point where it's like, okay, I'm done. I'm done losing money. Like I didn't see that I could have made the money if I would have stuck to my rules. If you're saying that consistently every day, then eventually something's going to click and you're just going to be like, look, okay, I'm tired of doing this. I'm just gonna do it the right way. I mean, that just comes with how you are as your own, character. So that's what I would say about discipline.
Absolutely. I remember you telling me that. You told me, you was like, you know what, you're gonna get tired of losing.
Yeah.
Cause I have my discipline issues. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't just coming to game and even after doing our 101 and, being able to ask a bunch of questions and bounce stuff off you, excuse me, bounce stuff off of you, I still was dealing with discipline. And what it showed me was that that's something you gotta work on. It's not gonna just, you're not gonna just do a one-on-one or you're not gonna just get a mentor and then like your discipline is fixed. As you stated, that's something that starts within you. So it starts there first. And that's a great, great analogy, how you stated about if you're late to work and you're doing stuff in your personal life, it will trickle down into your trading life, just the way that it is. Very, very great point. Very, very great point. Very great point. I hope y'all getting these gems that's being dropped. All right. So let's segue into your baby. Man, what inspired you to start a proprietary trading firm? What started that? Where'd that come from? And hold on, before you answer, let me tell y'all this. This gentleman right here would be milking prop firms so bad, they was banning him. Not because he was doing anything illegal or doing anything nefarious. He was really, really breaking them. Like, breaking them. And they was like, nah, you can't get no more accounts, bro. So with that said, back to the original question. What was the motivation behind that? What was the inspiration behind that?
I actually was saying that now that I'm on the other side, and some people are doing that to us. Like, I'm so apologetic to those out there what I did, because that was that was nice of me. But really, like with me personally, it was originally just a business venture that I initially thought of it, because I'm always looking to expand my business empire, essentially. So
Absolutely.
that was the first thought. So I was like, oh, let me see what actually entails into actually starting a product firm. So I did some research, and it was like, yeah, you need this, this, and this, and that. I was like, maybe not. And then so the time went by, and then it came. I saw a ad, and on the ad it was like, oh, we can make a prop firm for you. And I was like, what? And so I hit them up, and I was just like, yeah, what's this about or whatever. And they told me, and it was like, I don't know. I'll get back to you. And then I was talking to Sai about it, and then we talked about it for a while, like months or whatever. And then it came to a point where at that time there were a lot of people having a lot of troubles with prop firms, like not paying out, and not for reasons like me, like getting banned
Right,
or
right.
but it was people, they didn't want to pay out or whatever. And that was like a big thing at the time in the space. This was like almost 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. Um, and it was like, oh, that would be cool if we can actually come out with something that people don't have to worry about that. And also something where, because being in the prop space, you kind of know a lot of the what people want and are looking for. So it came to a point where we were like, okay, we did it. Well, I don't like doing evals. Like, that's me personally. This is my input in it. Like, I don't like doing evals. So it would be cool just to have something that takes you into making money day one. Not necessarily withdrawing day one, but at least that money counts. Like, because
Right,
on the eBay, you can make 50,000 in one day, but it doesn't mean anything. So that was one of my
right.
um, um, pinpoints on what I would want in a prop firm. And so we sort of just bounced a whole bunch of ideas back and forth, and put it on paper. Prayed about it, and then it was like, okay, you down? He's like, yeah. I was like, I'm down. So yeah, let's pull the trigger, work on it behind the scenes for like a year, I want to say. And then sort of made it happen, trying to come into space and trying to bring something new. Because so it works out because like Josiah, for example, he of course has the big audience, the big following. He's into marketing, he's into all of that stuff, which is key for any business, right? And then
Right.
with me, like the back end of a prop firm is very like technical, and that's like my bread and butter. So the relationship there worked out really, really well. And one thing about being in like IT or cybersecurity or whatever is you always have to change. You always have to be innovative and
That's
keep
true.
up with the trends and be looking towards the future, like at all times. That's not something that a lot of prop firms are doing. So that was another reason why we are wanted to do it because we had the same, philosophy when it came to that, as far as being able to consistently come out with something new on a regular basis, whether it's new accounts, new this or that. Yeah, so we actually have a lot of dope things coming out. A lot of dope things. The thing about this space though is it takes so much time, because if it was just up to us, like I could build it, or our team could build it like really quick. But we have to wait for this person to do this. That's outside of our control.
Right.
And that's one thing that I hate about it, to be honest. But I don't know if you're going to ask that, but yeah, that's how it is with the props. So, yeah.
So would you say that might be one of the biggest challenges? Was that one of the
Yeah.
biggest challenges in launching, was having to go through all the different people that had their hands in the cookie jar, so to speak?
Absolutely, because it's not just you. You have to, be compliant with the exchanges, with whoever you get your market data from, things like that. And they're not in a rush. Like they're already, and they're, at least what I'm thinking that they're thinking is that they're already, you know, um, making X amount of dollars already. So who cares if you want to use us? You're going to be on our
Right.
timeline. So.
Right.
Um, yeah, that's one thing that I hate. That's probably like 10 things that I hate, all in mixed into one, is waiting on the other people. That's essentially what takes so long in this space. But yeah, we do have a lot of big things, game changer things that are coming out, but it just
No,
takes time. Yeah.
absolutely. Man, shout out to TEF, man. For real, for real. Shout out to TEF. That's dope. Can't wait. Be looking for all those different enhancements, things that are just gonna make the brand just that much better. And I feel that's not even really hard to do with the landscape of everything. You know what I'm saying? With how other prop firms operate. I think that's going to be fairly easy. That's great, man. That's really good. Um, so how, as a company, how do you balance profitability while still helping traders succeed?
Uh, for me, that's actually like really easy, because it's just a robot. Like it's just like now that part of my brain is just on autopilot. So it just does it. Like, for example, like when I wake up, I'll come to the charts, look for my trade. At the same time, I have, Discord open or emails or whatever, replying to those, look for the trade over here, answer questions over here. It's actually like compartmentalized on everything, unless somebody's specifically asking about like the current trade that I'm in or something like that. Then it's actually completely separated. But that just comes with, the reps that you put in, and consistently showing up and doing the same thing on a regular basis. And so yeah, that part is actually like really easy for me now.
Nice, 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 nice. So what kind of traders thrive within the TEF system, in your opinion?
Ooh, good question. So I think this is probably going to shock people, but our most consistent traders, uh, meaning the ones that are consistently getting payouts, and sometimes decent sized payouts, probably the biggest payouts so far, have come from people trading micros. And it's funny because
Shout out Micro Gang.
I saw an interview with another prop firm like a few years ago. That prop firm owner said the same thing. And at the time, I didn't have a prop firm, but I was just a trader. I was like, man, I ain't trading no micros, man. There's no way. He's trying to make us trade micros to help him or something. But now looking at it from this side, yeah, micros, the people that are trading micros are killing it. Yeah, they're killing it. Yeah. So micros are definitely on top right now.
You sent me that video. So,
Oh, yeah.
yep. And I must say, I can say it. But it was Apex. It's Apex,
Yeah.
everybody. The owner came
Yeah.
out. That man said, and Apex have paid out, just so anyone knows this, they've paid out more than any other prop firm right now,
Yeah.
today, presently. They've paid out more payouts. Where they at? Where they at, big brother? How many
They
what?
probably, all the other prop firms put together, they probably paid out more than that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And he said that when they do their audits and they look at the payouts, the traders that are getting the most payouts, they have the smaller accounts, which is 25K to 50K, and they're trading micros. Shout out Micro Gang. Now, I tell you guys all the time, you don't have to trade a mini. Micros is where it's at. You can still eat off micros. Proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
Amazing. 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 So, being that TEF was, how would I say, I always call it a prop firm that was for traders, designed by traders, right? Now, what would, knowing that, what do you think are the most common mistakes that traders are making when they're either trying to pass an eval, or even if they're in a funded account, or if they're straight to funded and they're trying to get to the payout threshold or get to a payout? What do you think is the most common mistakes that they make?
I think the first one sure would be reading the rules. The rule is probably the top thing that people just do not do. And if you don't read the rules, then you probably are going to blow your account. Now, me, for example, I don't read the rules anymore, but I already kind of like understand because I've been trading props for a while. So I just need to know how much I need to pass the account, and then that's kind of it. But that's because also at the same time, I'm still robotic when it comes to trading. I know what I'm going to do. I already know my plan, so it doesn't matter what their rules are because the way that I trade um, can be used in like any sort of rules that a prop firm could come out with. Because I'm not looking for the home runs or the super big trades or anything like that. Because I'm looking for my set amount every day based on my personal rules, right? So, but I think for especially if you're new in the game, definitely just read the rules. Make sure you understand the rules. If you don't understand the rules, find out in the Discord, get clarification, or email customer service, whatever you got to do. Chat GBT it, whatever you can do. Just make sure you understand the rules. That's the number one thing that people that I've noticed have difficulty with.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So, I know TF has a lot of good things coming. Do you think trading is getting easier or harder for beginners?
That's a great question because you would think that it's getting easier because there's so many, different ways to learn it now. So many different platforms, so much information out there as well. But to me, I think that's a hindrance because there's too much information out there. And it's like, okay, well, what do I actually listen to? Where do I actually learn it? So I think right now it's getting harder because people are relying more on what they see online rather than their own two eyes. So I'm not saying that to say don't get any information. You should definitely get some assistance with like the basics of things when it comes to trading, like candles open, high, low, close, things like that, like the basics of it. But then I think it's more so just trusting your eyes. But that's kind of hard to say they don't if they're completely new and you're just telling this new person to just go stare at the chart and figure it out. They're not going to be able to comprehend that. So you have to go through the struggle first to be able to then understand the benefit of just doing the simple things. So yeah, I think it's definitely harder now than how it was, especially even when I started, because um, like social media was, of course, a thing, but it wasn't as flooded with like trading influencers at that time. So there weren't a ton of options out there to be able to, learn from. So it's kind of like just good luck now. If you don't come across that trader that can actually beat you, then it's probably going to, take you some time before you actually are able to pick up on things.
Facts. Facts. Man, I just that's so real. It's like can't get no realer than that. I mean, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Great answer for the community. I hope y'all listening. Hope y'all listening. Um, what skills will future traders need to survive to thrive, in your opinion? Like moving forward. Like if someone was new today, got into the inner circle, know absolutely nothing, or even if they in the TF Discord, just don't know anything, what skills do you think they need to survive?
I think eventually everybody's going to have to be on board with AI. AI is sort of dipping its toes in the water right now in the trading space. It's kind of like figuring things out, but I think it's going to come a point in time where AI is going to have a strong foothold um, in the space overall, and AI is definitely something. Just not even in your personal life, but just in every aspect, and then because of that, it's going to carry over to the trading space. That's just what I believe. There's already a few platforms out there that have implemented it, and people are enjoying it. So I think it's going to just continue to grow and grow and grow. So not like AI is in the sense of like learning how to build AI or nothing like that, but just the basics on how to use AI like properly, meaning knowing how to give the AI a good prompt. Like I think that's very, very important.
Wow. Wow. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I didn't even look at it from that perspective, but wow, huge eye opener. Huge eye opener. Definitely, definitely, definitely huge eye opener. Wow. Which I guess that pretty much kind of answered my next question. I was going to be, where do you see the prop firm industry heading into the next 3 to 5 years? I guess AI is going to be somewhat of the driving force of that, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
AI. I think with the prop space now, there's a lot of competition out there. I don't think everybody's going to last if you don't have any innovation, because at some point it's just going to be, oh well, this company is just like this company and just like this company, and they're just, the only differences are maybe the prices, and then it's just like you're competing back and forth, and there's no one doing anything different, no one standing out or anything like that. So I think the ones that are just sort of stagnant are just going to sort of die off, and there's only going to be like maybe your top 10 or whatever companies that are going to be the ones to actually survive the prop space. But I think it's going to continue to grow though, because more and more forex traders are starting to find futures, and
Right.
forex is already a huge industry, and it's simpler in their aspects and cheaper to trade futures. So
Facts.
as far as accounts, because prop accounts on forex are like thousands of dollars.
Wow.
Um, so that's the thing. A lot of people don't know in that space, and yeah, so
Wow. I didn't even know that. I didn't, first of all, I didn't even know. Assumed they may have been there, but I did not know that there were prop firms for Forex. Didn't know that. I assumed that there wasn't, because Forex is not a regulated, industry. So, wow. Okay. Wow. And they're very expensive. Didn't know that either. Okay. Wow. All right. So I got this is one question that I had for one that I kind of came up with. But if you had to start over with $0, start over your whole trading career, start over right now today, what would you do first?
Um, are you talking about just in life or trading?
In trading, I'm sorry. In trading, I'm sorry. In trading,
Oh,
if you had to start your trading career over right now today, presently speaking, and you had $0, what would you do first?
$0. I would call somebody, a friend or whatever. I would borrow X amount of dollars to get me a prop account right now, and I tell them I'll pay them back in 7 days.
Wow, I heard that. And I know you can do that. I know you can handle that with no problem. That's love. I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, what's one of the biggest lessons that trading taught you? What's the biggest lesson that trading taught you? Even with all of your knowledge, like right now today, what would you say is the biggest lesson?
Great question. So the biggest lesson is, I think for me, the biggest lesson with trading would be, how do I want to put this? Dang, it's a great question. I think the biggest lesson would be the fact that you're able to actually see results based on the work that you put in. So I think it would be like your, I don't even know what that's called. I don't know how to phrase it, but the fact that you're able to, I guess the accomplishment of it, right? So you're able to dedicate some time and effort into something and actually see a instant return that has no ceiling. So it's that your time and effort actually pays off. Now a lot of people put time and effort into other things that actually don't pay off. For example, like going to
Facts.
school, going to college, um, getting a degree, not using that degree, but you put 4 years of time and effort and money into it to get not the results that you wanted, but other results. In trading, you put your time and effort, there's only one result that you can get, or a positive result, and that's money and more money. So, um, yeah, that would have to be the biggest lesson, that you can actually put some time and dedication into something that everybody is chasing. Everybody's chasing money. Everybody needs money. So, yeah, I would say that.
Facts. Hey, I can attest to that. I've told you that all the time, and I even said it on stream. Six is what 6 years for a master's degree, 100 and some bands, failed investment. Period. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, I do have some things behind my name. Very true. Still a failed investment in the regard of this. Take the 100 bands and I'd have put that into the market. Where would I have, where that, I think I would have flipped that money. You know, like literally flip that money. So I totally agree with that. So what would you say matters more, win rate or risk to reward?
Good question. Um, for me, it would have to be win rate. Even though I don't go off of win rate, but I don't also go off of risk to reward, because they're all different, at least for my strategy. But
Correct.
the reason why I say it is because, this goes back to what I was talking about on, if you have a good strategy and it's a good strategy, aka a good win rate, then I don't have to worry about it. It might take time for it to pay off, but I know that's going to pay off if it's a good strategy with a good win rate. If it's just risk to reward, that's not really telling me enough that I need to know. Um, if I'm going to be, green at the end of the week or the month or whatever the case is. So I would go with win rate.
Facts. 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 Beautiful. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. All right. So, one word. Describe your trading style. One word.
Oh, you already know. Robotic.
Facts.
It's typical service, mechanical, but yeah.
I like absolutely. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
for everyone that's listening, robotic mechanical means what? Follow the rules. Just follow the rules. Don't do nothing different. Just follow the rules. Follow the rules.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right. So, man, it's a lot of gems right now. A lot of gems right now. I love it. I love it. I love it. If you could give your young trading self one piece of advice, what would it be? If you can go back and be like, hey,
Use
young
zones.
scalp god,
Easy.
what would it be? I love it. I love it. That's dope. That is dope. That's what's up. So, how could I put this? What would you say? Okay. Let's put it this way. What does being that you've made? I know you've made millions of dollars in trading. I know you have. I know you have. I know that's not something you're not big on. That you don't really talk about stuff like that. You're a very, very humble gentleman. It's one of the attributes about you that I love the most. Super humble, but you will give me a good tongue lashing when I need it. So, what does success in trading mean to you now, considering all the accolades that you have, all your experience, everything? Like right now today, what does success look at? Because you can either say, well, I made good money, got a prop firm going, I'm a coach, I've taught a lot of people, I reached back, I have a carbon footprint in trading. With all of that said, what does success in trading truly mean to you now?
I see. Good question, and an easy one for me now. Also, now what I find success in would be for somebody who's new to trading to be able to come in, ask me some questions, I answer them, and then they ask me about a strategy. I show them the strategy, and then some time later, they send me a DM with a payout certificate. To me, that's success now. Like being able to help somebody else learn the skill set that could change their life and their family's life.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. You always told me, and I tell the community, you're one trade away from changing your life. One trade away.
Yeah.
One trade away from changing your life. All right, y'all. Y'all got any questions? Anybody in the comment section got any questions? We about an hour and 8 minutes in. I'm gonna let my big brother choose the questions. If he can scroll through the comment section, if he sees something that he likes, he can answer it. We're gonna take 3 questions, and then after that, I know my brother said he's feeling a little generous. He might throw us some accounts today. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So, what y'all got? We got a little 7 to 10-second delay, so we'll give it a sec. So go ahead and ask some good questions. Nothing redundant. Something that's really, really good. And he's going to choose. Bottovin. I gotta tell you about Bottovin too.
Bottoming. I heard you talk about bottoming when I be peeking into your streams.
So I
Because
don't know
he's
if you
in.
know this. So this brother lives in Ukraine. He be trading with us, bro. Then he'll say something like, and I said this last stream, and I just want to say, because you in the military. And it's just like the fortitude that this guy has, man. This guy will go and be like, hey, I got to go to the bunker. Drones are close. So he got to get his family, go into the bunker, bro. Like, seriously, during midstream. And then he'll come back like 15, 20 minutes later, be like, all right, everything's good. We straight. I was like, wow. pretty, but he stays locked in. Come on, man. That's
No, never know the sacrifices somebody
what?
put to be
Absolutely.
able to accomplish something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, shout out.
Absolutely. Yeah, man.
So yeah, he asked, "What does your ideal trading day look like?" So for me, um, now just speaking of trading, I'll wake up. I used to wake up at a specific time, like super early, but now I'll wake up an hour and a half before the market opens, just to give, wake myself up properly so your brain can start to function. And then just go to the charts, mark out any daily levels if I haven't done it from the night before, and then look for my setup at the open. Now, one of my setups, I know if it's going to play out or not. The other one, I have to sort of wait until 9:45. So by 9:45, between 9:30 and 9:45, I know if I have a trade or not for the day, for the morning anyway. The evening's a different story, but yeah, and I look for that every day. After that, then I just answer questions and do some other work.
Bottom great question, brother.
Yep.
All right. He's going to take two more. Y'all pile them in.
What video? So Marcel, the future option, nice name. What video have you made that you would say is most valuable and a must watch? Easy reversal zone video.
Facts.
So that is
Holy grail.
Yeah, it's long. There's one that's an hour and a half, and then there's one that's a little over 3 hours. So I would watch both, to be honest. So
Facts.
4 hours for something that could, change your life, that's a good trade-off.
Absolutely. Facts. Y'all heard that. RZs. Don't sleep on them RZs. Don't sleep on them RZs. And we're gonna take one more. Let my big brother choose whatever you want to answer.
Let's see.
Just I'm gonna before you pick, we're just gonna exclude this one. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with this. We got people in the chat. We need to ban. We'll take care of that later.
Yeah. So actually, let's do two questions because there's
Okay.
two that I see. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Hey, bro, it's your world. It's your world.
focus mind. So for a developing trader, working hard to build a process-driven business, what was the biggest psychological shift that helped you stop forcing trades and accept letting a mistrade entry go? So that's what I was sort of going over earlier, where it is based on you personally. Like it's just gonna be a point in time where you're just going to want to stop losing money and actually make money. Like a lot of people come in and everybody immediately just wants to make money, and you think that you're ready to make money, but deep down you just don't want to address that you have some things that you have to overcome first on the personal side with your psychology, your discipline. And until you can overcome those things, it's probably not going to carry over to your trading. So that comes back around to where it's just like eventually you're going to want to stop, and then you're actually going to take it serious and actually stay disciplined and follow your rules, and then yeah, everything will change for you then. So yeah, good question.
Great question. Shout out to Laser Focused Mind. Always coming through with great questions. Always answering like on point when I ask questions in the comment section. Always, like I said, it's always on point, man. Shout out to you. Absolutely.
And then Thompson Thomas, having 5 strategies, how do you know which one to use? So the way that my strategies are designed, and this is by design, is they're all time based. So I played football at like almost every level, sort of like semi pro. And with football, if you know anything about football, you have a quarterback. And with the quarterback, you have your receivers, right? So with that, whenever they drop back for a pass, you have to go through what's called your progressions. You look at this receiver to see if he's open. If he's not open, you go to this one. If he's not open, and they're all time based, right? So this one might be running a deeper route. This one's a short route. This one's a crossing route. This one's a back fade route or whatever. So that's essentially how I came out with the strategies. So like my first strategy that I look for at the start, I know from 9:27 a.m. until like maybe 10 or 15 minutes after or 10 minutes after the open if we're going to have a trade or not for that one. The next strategy doesn't start until 9:45, which is 15 minutes after the open. So that one comes right after it. And then the third strategy, the A plus or whatever, that doesn't, you don't start looking for that setup until 10 a.m., which is 30 minutes after the open. So that's your progressions. The first strat, second strat, third strat. The fourth strat is kind of like all day. I don't really trade that one as much. That one's for people who are on the go. So that's going to depend on what time they're available for the charts. And then the last strat, the evening, that one happens at 6 o'clock every night. So um, that's all of the progressions of your strategies. Now, that's just how my strategies work. Every other strategy out there doesn't work that way, but I made it specifically for that one, essentially because people have busy schedules. They weren't able to trade all at the market open. So I was trying to help them come out with ways on being able to still take trades. So, yeah, great question.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Thomas, thank you for that. That was a very great question. Very great answer too. So I mean, if you guys see, think about it. It'd be hard to like look for 5 strategies at the same time, right? So just by my big brother, staggering them goes to show you the psychology going into not just to have a strategy to eat, but also to have a strategy that you can find at different times. And they're all based on different criteria. So that's just amazing within itself. This has been epic, bro. Like, man, I'm glad I got you on, bro. It's been epic, brother. For real, for
Good
real.
time.
Yeah,
Do this
man.
more often.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. We definitely gonna have to recap, man. And definitely for the community, because they hear me always say, my big brother Scout God, my big brother, they always hear me saying, always shouting you out just for everything, because that's just how I believe. That's how I was raised. Like, you never forget where you came from. You never forget the people that helped you elevate your game. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's at least now they have an opportunity to see who you are, you know what I mean? Hear what you talk about, understand your way of thinking when it comes to trading. And man, it's just been good, man. It's just been good. And I know I'm just looking in the comment section, and everybody is like come back, like appreciate the gems he's dropping. Like, man, it's love. It's always love. Always love, always love, man. That's super fire, brother. Super, super fire. So, what you got going on for the rest of the week, man? Nothing much. Family stuff.
I need to unpack.
Oh, okay.
Suitcases
That's right.
just on the corner. So yeah, that's the main thing. We got a big meeting, at least as far as hedge fund and stuff. We have a big meeting coming up with something extremely important. That's going to
Nice.
be super
Nice.
beneficial to everybody in the community. So yeah, it's going
That's
to be
fire.
pretty dope.
That's fire. That's right. You went to World Cup, right?
Yeah, we went to the World Cup match in Toronto after we got back from Morocco for our 10-year anniversary.
Right. That's right. Shout out to that. My big brother's 10-year anniversary. Shout out to that. That's right. 10 years. That's beautiful. Beautiful. This man, like you said, this man is consistent. You see that, right? This man is consistent. Consistent in his marriage, consistent in his trading. He's consistent. Absolutely. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Consistency being robotic. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, man, definitely appreciate you being here, my brother. I just want to tell you that for me personally, like, I appreciate like what you've done for me. I know I'm not one to like always hit you up all the time and ask a bunch of questions because I felt like you gave me the keys and I felt like it was my responsibility to get in the car and drive. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, along the way, I know if I need help, I know you're always there for me, but I'm always one to be like, he gave me the game, he gave me the gems. I got to run with this. I can't just be questioning them every single time I got a question. There's some things I got to figure out. And I'm only saying that not just to my big brother, but also to the community to understand like when someone gives you the keys to something, like put the responsibility and effort into putting in some work. You know what I'm saying? Don't just question them to death. You know what I'm saying? Like clarity questions are cool, y'all, but if someone give you the keys, take the responsibility, get in the car and drive. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
Yeah.
So with that said, brother, anything else, any last word that you want to say before we jump off?
No, I appreciate you for having me. And like you were saying about the keys, yeah, we were highly confident in ensuring that the keys were given to the right person. So we want to say thank you actually for actually taking on the responsibility of going forward and doing your own teachings and making sure traders are starting out right, especially if they're brand new. So yeah, definitely appreciate you for that. And yeah, looking forward to coming back and actually seeing the channel grow to astronomical numbers. And
Man,
yeah,
appreciate that.
so
Thank
yeah,
you, brother. Thank you, brother. Much love, bro. Much appreciation for that, man. You know what my heart is. You know how I feel about you, bro. You my dude. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. Good, bad, or indifferent. You know, I'm always in your corner. I don't care what it is. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of like how we've been rocking. But you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So with that said, y'all, it was a great one, man. I'm so happy that I got it done. Y'all don't even know how much like I feel like a lot of weight off my shoulders. Not that this was stressful, but I was really so stuck on like I ain't having nobody on till I have my brothers. Then after my brothers, then it's cool. But this has been a milestone, not just for me personally, but for the channel and ultimately for the community. Y'all got a bunch of gems today. Anyone in the inner circle who think that, and I'm gonna say this because I be hearing this, who think that my brother is like tough and hard and all of that. Like, no, he's a very gracious man. And he just teaches with tough love. And some people don't understand that. They take that a different way. Being an athlete, you're used to being yelled at all the time. So you have thick skin. And when you teach, you tend to teach with tough love. That's just the way that it is. It don't mean he's evil or he's good dude for real. And he wants to see everyone succeed. So just understand that and know that. And yeah, man, and we gonna sign off, man. For real, for real, for real. I appreciate all of y'all. Much love. We gonna end the stream after this one. And yeah, y'all have a great remainder of y'all day. And I catch y'all tonight in the Genius Vault. Matter of fact, I gotta get my brother in there too. Gotta get my brother in the Genius Vault. Gotta get him in there. So y'all have a blessed remainder of y'all day. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thanks again to my big brother Scout for coming on, giving us his time and dropping gems. And yeah, we gonna sign off. Y'all have a blessed remainder of y'all day.
appreciate it. See ya.
Yay!